Hi there, welcome to Chess Openings Explained Abridged. I'm Nick Risko, and with the help of Dennis Boros prep, we're going to be going over the Scandinavian Defense today, and we're going to be going over the Queen A5 line. It is one of the oldest lines in chess, one of the earliest recorded back in the 1400s, and it'll be a great look at how to develop your pieces in a really open position. So the position starts off with e4 and d5. This is the Scandinavian defense, and black is willing to trade off a center pawn, get his queen out, get a little bit of queen activity, and play a really solid structure, playing moves like c6 and e6 later in the position. Here, white takes on d5, and here black has two options. Either the queen can take on d5, or the knight can go to f6. And now the one that's coming up in popularity is the knight f6 line, but the original line is queen takes d5. White plays knight c3, getting a tempo on the queen, developing a piece. And here the line we're going to be going over is queen a5. The other options are queen d6 and queen d8, with queen d8 being more popular at the club level and queen d6 becoming a bit more trendy at the top level. After queen a5, white decides to take full center control with d4, put a pawn in the center, and try and build around that. Black plays knight f6, developing one of his minor pieces, and white will continue developing naturally. He plays knight f3, getting his other knight out, and here black plays c6, kind of the pawn structure that I mentioned earlier. Black is going to be following up with getting his bishop outside the pawn chain before he plays e6, and then this dark square bishop is going to be trying to come out a little bit later. We're not exactly sure where it wants to go yet. Here, white plays bishop c4, already prepared to castle kingside, and black is going to play bishop f5, just developing the bishop, getting it outside the pawn chain. And here, white plays bishop d2, threatening a couple things here, mainly this discovery on the queen after the knight goes to, let's say, d5 or even e4. We have the discovery on the queen. So black will play e6, preparing to get his dark square bishop developed, maybe castle kingside, and he already has a good square for his knight, going to d7 to castle queenside if he needs to. And here, white plays either knight d5 or knight e4, they both transpose, but the cuter move is knight d5. Being attacked 4 times and defended once, but because of this discovery on the queen, the knight is completely safe here. Black's only move is queen to d8. This is forced as it's the only square that white does not control. And then here, white is going to capture on f6. Now, queen takes and pawn takes are both playable, but at the top level, you'll see more players play g takes. The reason is because after a move like queen takes f6, white gets really rapid development and can get some tempo on the queen. Let's say queen e2, knight d7, and we'll keep developing naturally. And here, black's queen is already attacked, and the engine will give this as a winning position for white with plus 1.2. So you'll see a lot of top level players play pawn takes. And here when we look at the structure, we can notice a couple things. One, black is not going to castle kingside. With this damaged pawn structure, it's not going to be safe to castle and put the king on this open file. So black is going to be trying to castle queenside. In order to do this, he's going to have to develop the queen, move the knight, and castle queenside, which gives white a little bit of time to keep developing his pieces. White will normally go bishop to b3. He's going to be trying to play queen e2, but he doesn't want to let the c-pawn hang to this bishop on f5. After bishop b3, black is going to continue with his plan of developing the castle and queenside. So knight to d7, queen to e2, and then queen to c7, preparing to castle queenside. Both sides castle long. And here white will go knight h4. I should mention white also has the option to play knight h4 before castling, but it will transpose into the same line, where after knight h4, bishop g7, both sides will castle. and this is the same position. So bishop goes back to g6. If white ends up capturing on g6, they have the option to either take with the h-pawn and open up the file for the rook, or capturing with the f-pawn and then undoubling his pawns, getting a more flexible pawn structure. Here, the most common move played is g3, kind of getting a pawn chain set up. May play f4, may play h4 after this knight moves. He doesn't want to trade and get the bishop pair just yet because he will have that option, at least for the next couple moves. Black is going to develop their last piece with bishop to d6, and now this is where white is going to capture on g6. And then black will capture with the h-pawn, opening up the file for his rook without even moving his rook at all. His rook is well placed on a semi-open file. Here, white just plays h4, getting this pawn chain set up, and now this backwards h-pawn on h2 is not going to be a weakness for white, as it is protected by a pawn. And here black will play f5, just kind of playing slowly, playing solidly, and a way that white could continue is king b1, and it's chess from here. This is the main line of the Queen A5 Scandinavian. I just want to give another thanks to Grandmaster Dennis Borosh for helping me prep this. Leave your comments down below. If there's any questions, we'll try and answer them. Thanks for watching.